This is the Your Money Hour podcast. I am your host, Dakota Grady. Welcome to the show, y'all. Thank you for joining me tonight. This episode is sponsored by Upstate Essential Solutions. Check out the company providing personal finance, accounting, and tax solutions for individuals and businesses. Check out dakotagrady.com. Hey, y'all, it's Friday evening. Your boys on the set, and I want to come to y'all and bring some value to the Your Money Hour podcast. Today we're talking about financial trauma. That's right, financial trauma. Is there such a thing? Yes, there is such a thing called financial trauma. In fact, I'm going to talk about two sources that find what financial trauma is. We're going to dive deep off of what it is, what are some symptoms, how do you overcome it, and solutions as well. So I'm going to jump right in to the podcast tonight. Usually I have a guest, but I wanted to bring y'all some value talking about this thing called financial trauma. So according to choosingtherapy.com, financial trauma refers to emotional, cognitive, relational, and physical symptoms triggered by significant financial triggers, such as poverty, homelessness, food insecurity, and unemployment, which can have a lasting impact on one's mental, physical, and financial health. In other words, there are things that someone has had in the past, such as job loss, homelessness. They may have had issues in their family where they didn't have food to eat. Those things may be triggers for them now, maybe causing them to have emotional, financial, and physical ailments. So, what are some of the symptoms? So, you may be having financial trauma, right? And you may be afraid to check your bank account. You may be afraid to go check it because you may think you may have an overdraft fee, right? Or you may be afraid to go talk to spouse about it because maybe you have overspent in a certain area and you may be feeling vulnerable, or you may be feeling ashamed or guilty for what you've done. Or maybe you've had a history of losing jobs. Every year you get laid off from your job and you feel like you can't have stability in your life. So you may be feeling stress, worry, and fear because of this particular trigger, right? Some of you may be able to relate to those things. For me, I think in my opinion, I've had financial trauma in my life as well. One, my background, my mom and dad had 7 kids. We grew up struggling on welfare, right? So that's something that impacted me over my life, right? Mentally, thinking about that, not wanting to go back to those things, working hard, not wanting to have the same experiences as I had as a child, living on welfare, government assistance on WIC, depending on the government for things to help me through life. Also, losing jobs. When I lived in Tennessee, I lost 4 jobs, y'all. So that impacted me financially, also mentally, worried about things, whether if I can keep a job, if I can provide for my family. And honestly, that's why I didn't want to have children, because I had a history of not being able to make income like I want to, or history of losing jobs. So those things have caused me to really, really work hard in my business to make more income, because I have trauma in my life as well. Some of you may have had trauma from the pandemic, losing jobs, and not being able to provide for your family, or whether you can pivot in a virtual environment, right? So this stuff is real life stuff, right? So what causes it? Again, you have things that cause it in your past, causing you hindrance in your performance now, worry, stress, right? According to Forbes, though, Forbes also says that financial trauma is caused when expenses outweigh income for an extended period of time. Think about that. If you have more expenses than income, you're living above your means, you probably have no credit cards, you're going deeper into debt more likely, and you're stressed out and worried because of your situation. Again, I mean, like, you may be experiencing that right now, and you may not have learned about how to handle money in the past, whether through school or your parents to teach you how to handle money. So now you're an adult, you're adulting, as I say, and you don't know how to handle money. And every day you're making money in your business, or you're making money as an employee on the job, It's Friday, y'all. More likely, y'all paid today. And Monday morning comes, and you're broke already because you have spent your money before you got it on bills, dining out, hanging out with your friends, paying off credit card debt, student loan debt, car payments, mortgage. You got payday loans, you got debt from your family, your friends. You're so overwhelmed with debt, it's traumatic, right? You don't know how to navigate these waters of financial literacy, right? Of how to make decisions with your finances, personal finances, I should say. Well, those are some things that can cause it. Again, unemployment, homelessness, having a track record of not being able to keep a job, stressed out and worried about those things, being on welfare like I was. So those are things that can cause trauma. Also, if you're investing, right, and you're in the stock market and you have experienced a big loss, you're traumatized by that. You don't want to keep losing money. So what do? Pull your money out the stock market. Then what? You lose the ability for your money to grow for you. Then you're stressed out and worried now about your future because you took the money out of the account. Currently, they can't have grown for you in the future, right? So you lost the ability of your money to grow for you because you were traumatized by the loss in the past. Taking risk is risky when you invest in the stock market. When you invest and lose money, it's traumatic. But when you invest over the long haul, you have to be able to have audacity not to take the money out of the account, let it stay in, because over time, the market will go up. Not down and down. If you do day trading, of course you're gonna lose money because if you're taking your money in and out, jumping in and out of the stock market, you're gonna lose money. You're not gonna have more returns and gain because you're taking money out, jumping in the market. You want to invest your money long term. But again, you're afraid to lose money because of what happened in the past. You put all your money into the market and it plummeted, for example. You may have put your money in the stock market in 2008 during the big crash. And that has caused financial trauma to you. So now you're holding to your money in the bank account, not really growing. You probably have it in a CD, certificate of deposit, right? Locked in for 9 months, 3 months, whatever it is, but it's not making much money for you, not working for you, right? Because you are scarred by putting your money in the stock market, you lost money, right? So now you're traumatized. What do you do? Where do you go from here? I want to offer some solutions to you how to overcome financial trauma. I think first you need to identify what are your triggers. What triggers you at? What triggers that emotion of wanting to not check your account, your bank account, or your credit card statement? What triggers that emotion? Identify it. Call it out. Say, all right, I have a trouble overspending, right? When I overspend, I'm stressed out and worried. Or if I overspend and I get an overdraft, oh, that causes so much worry and stress. So what do? How do you identify that trigger? Figure it out, write it down, and if you have multiple ones, it's good because you can know if you become self-aware, you'll be on guard and be able to learn how to react to those things by being proactive instead of being reactive. Secondly, I recommend finding solutions. All right, how can you overcome the triggers? Well, if it's something that's in the past, you can't change the past. So what I recommend doing is finding out how you can write down goals to prevent the past from happening again. Now, you want to control things that you can control. You can't control the stock market, but you can control what you're investing in the stock market, right? You can control that. How much you can invest, you can control that as well. And what you can invest in, like you want to invest in, say, for example, mutual funds, or you may want to do something more conservative, such as bonds, right? You don't have a lot of growth there, but you have some growth because stocks outperform bonds. In other words, equity over debt. Now, set some goals so that you won't be repeating the past. If you're losing jobs consistently, why are you losing jobs? Is it because of your performance? You don't know how to manage emotions? Or you don't have the skills to do the job that you're hired for? What is the issue? Identify the issue, set goals so that you can be able to move beyond where you are in your life and not repeat the past. Learn from your past to create a better future. And also, I want to tell you to learn about financial literacy so that you can know how to manage your money, to make better decisions with your personal finances. Take a class on money. I recommend taking a class about learning how to handle your money, how to earn money, how to save money, how to give, how to invest, how to pay off debt. That's right. How to pay off debt, not manage debt, pay it off altogether so that you can have freedom in your life. Also, lastly, I wanted to say hire a coach because you may know what to do, but are you going to do what you know we need to do? That's the question. You may know how to handle your finances, right? You may know how to pay off your debt, but are you going to do it? Who's going to hold you accountable to doing that thing you need to do to overcome the financial trauma, right? You may have resources at your disposal, which you do, but are you going to use them? Are you going to hire a money coach like me to help you navigate these waters of financial trauma? Or are you going to do it on your own? You may have the resources again at your disposal, but are you going to use them to change your life? That's the question. So I want to encourage you and also challenge you not to stay stuck in your financial trauma. You can't change the past. You can only change the future by doing something different now. Change the future by doing something different now so that your future can be different, right? So I want to encourage you all and challenge you to learn more about money, identify your triggers, set some goals, and hire a coach so that you can move beyond where you are in your finances. So I want to also ask you to share the podcast, share with your family and friends. Y'all want to get feedback from you all. What topics do y'all want to hear? Comment on it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Your Money Hour Podcast. Check out my podcast online. Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify. Check it out. Share it. And I want feedback. What do you like about it, not like about it? But I want to get your feedback from the podcast. Thank you all for joining me. Leave a comment below. Share it. And I want to leave y'all with this right here. Financial trauma is a real thing, but you can overcome it. It's all mental, in my opinion. It's mental. You may have some emotional things attached to it that may lead to physical, right? It's all mental. If you can control your mind, being positive, upbeat, and not worrying so much about things that you can't control, only focus on what you can control, wanting to make a better life and a better future for yourself, you can do it. You may be stuck right now where you are, thinking you can't get better, but you can get better. You can get better if you want to get better. So I want to challenge you, get better, learn more about money, and get somebody on your team to help you. So this is the Your Money Hour podcast, hosted by Dakota Grady, sponsored by Upstate Essential Solutions. Check out my website at dakotagrady.com.